You know what? As much as I love the first two Ant-Man movies, what happened here? Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was released in 2023, directed by Peyton Reed, starring Paul Rudd and Katherine Newton. And you know what? I was excited for this movie leading up to its release. I'm a big fan of the first two Ant-Man movies. I thought that they were both really enjoyable, small scale, no pun intended, action films. So, a little bit of a bigger scale Ant-Man movie set entirely in the quantum realm, it had potential, and the trailers made it look phenomenal. Unfortunately, it wasn't. So let's start off this review, starting off with the good, and there's still some stuff I like. First, Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, still absolutely terrific. I really love this character. Like I probably already said, he's top 5 MCU heroes for me. I just love what Paul Rudd does here. He's charming, he's cocky, he's arrogant, but he has a heart and he cares. And I just really love that about him. Katherine Newton as Cassie Lang, I really enjoyed her. Now, a lot of people aren't really fans of her for some reason. I get that some people kind of wanted to see the actress who played her in Endgame show back up. But I did enjoy what Katherine Newton did. She had really good chemistry with Paul Rudd. You can buy the father-daughter dynamic with them. I really enjoyed them. Finally, for the characters, you got Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. I enjoy what they did here. I loved Jonathan Majors in season 1 of Loki. He only appeared in 1 episode, but I thought that he was really good, and I was very excited to see him come in as the proper Kang the Conqueror. And honestly, I really love what he does with his performance here. He's menacing, he's badass, he's kind of unhinged, and I enjoyed that about him. Now, how he was handled is a different story. We will talk about that in a minute. But for the performance side, I really enjoy what he did. He's got some great action sequences as well. The story here is pretty good for the most part. There is a B plot I'm going to talk about. But I did enjoy the story for the A plot, mainly with Ant-Man and Cassie and Kang. I really enjoy what they did there. You got, they're all accidentally transported into the quantum realm, and they just kind of have to go on a journey to get back into the real world. Really enjoy what they did there. The visual effects of the quantum realm are absolutely beautiful. I love all the vibrant and lively designs of all these creatures that live within the quantum realm. It's very colorful. It's very pretty to look at. So I enjoy what they did here. The humor, that you got that classic trademark Ant-Man humor in this movie, and it really doesn't skip a beat. I really enjoyed the humor. Finally, the action of this movie, I really enjoyed what they did with the action. The third act in particular, just non-stop, all-out battle for the final 20 minutes of the movie. And yeah, it's just kind of a big CGI mess, but I don't know, I have fun with it. Finally, also, the score is good. I like the score. That's all for the good. Onto the mixed. And there's one thing I'm not a fan of, and that's the whole B plot. You got Hank, Janet, and Hope. They're separated from Scott when they're transported to the quantum realm, and they're trying to travel across the quantum realm themselves, find Scott. I just didn't care for their B plot. I loved all 3 of these characters in the past movies, but they're just kind of there, and when we keep cutting back to them, I'm like, okay, can we get back to Paul Rudd, please? And then we get a scene with Bill Murray, and I'm like, I love Bill Murray, but what the hell is he doing here? I didn't care for that scene. And then you got a scene near the end where Hank literally looks at the camera and says, now socialism is a loaded topic, but I think we can learn a lot from these ants. I'm like, that has no place in this movie whatsoever. As a completely out of place line. But yeah, didn't care for the B plot. That's all for the mix. Onto the bad, and there's some stuff that I really did not like. First is just the feel of this movie. It doesn't feel like an Ant-Man movie. The whole point of an Ant-Man movie is to have Ant-Man shrinking and growing, trying to get in and out of situations. That was the charm of the first two movies. All that is lost in this movie because they're already shrunk down to the quantum level. And it was a fine movie, but it just didn't feel like an Ant-Man movie. It felt like it should have been an Avengers movie. And also, I did not like MODOK in this movie. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like MODOK is one of the greatest villains of all time. I couldn't care less one way or the other about MODOK in the comics. But I did not like how they utilized him here regardless. A very ugly CGI Corey Stollhead with tiny arms. I just don't know what they were doing here. He was in there for some comedic relief, but yeah, I didn't really like this character. Final thing, I didn't like how they handled Kang here. As much as I enjoyed Jonathan Majors' performance, the way they handled him was just a little underwhelming in my opinion, because before this point, they were building Kang up to be the new Thanos of the MCU, the new big bad. They've moved away from that since, but at this point, Kang was supposed to be the new Thanos. And he loses to Scott Lang, of all characters, in a fist fight, and then he gets shrunk down and presumably killed at this point. They just kind of gave him a big badass action sequence, and then he's beaten way too easily at the end. I didn't care for that. That's all for the bad. On to the final thoughts. I don't think this is as bad as some people say, but of the three Ant-Man movies, this is most definitely the weakest. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is a very disappointing movie in my opinion. I wanted better. It should have been better. And I'm only going to give it a 6 out of 10. So that was my thoughts for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Have you seen this movie? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it if you have seen it. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.